the SEC on ESPN. And what a glorious day it has been. On the banks of the Mississippi River here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it's time for a little SEC baseball, and we got a good one on this Thursday night. And you can see the Intimidator has added the 2025 number up there. That is the 8th national championship for LSU, second most in the history of college baseball. Dave Neal alongside the big right-hander Ben McDonald. Glad you could join us. And the Oklahoma Sooners come rolling in here after winning 2 of 3 last weekend. Meanwhile, LSU won just 1 of 3 on the road at Vanderbilt. And LSU, Ben, has been kind of the story. Ranked number 2 in the D1Baseball.com preseason poll. They are now out of the top 25. I guess a lot of people around college baseball that kind of keep an eye on scores wonder what's going on.
It kind of all went south at the same time for LSU. Yeah. If you think about it, they got out of the gates quickly. 8-0 start, but a 500 team in their last 14 games. It's almost like the pitching, the defense, and, of course, the offense all went down at the same time. The good news is the last 5 games, the offense has been on a roll. They're averaging over 9 runs per game. Now, can they get the pitching and the defense to match that offense?
Speaking of offense, there have been few in America in the college game playing as well as this guy for LSU, Jake Brown.
Yeah, Jay Johnson said before the season started, he said, Jake Brown needs to have a big year. It is his time to lead. Well, lead he has done. How about 11 long balls already? Think about this. He only hit 8 home runs all of last season. He's got 11 on the year. He's driving the ball out of the ballpark. He's hitting for a high average. He's doing everything Jay Johnson hoped he would do.
4th in the country in RBIs with 37. Meanwhile, this Oklahoma team comes in here. Very balanced team. They can certainly hit it with the best of them, and they run around the bases better than anybody. They also pitch it pretty well, and their first 2 starters coming in here to this weekend are going to be a handful for LSU.
Much improved offense, but for me, it's been about the pitching for them. Their ERA, team ERA, almost a run per game better this year than what it was last year. And it's hard to argue that Cameron Johnson and L.J. McCure's is not one of the best 1-2 punches in the country. When you talk about strikeouts, they can punch out. It is big-time stuff. Look at the strikeout to walk ratio for L.J. McCure. It's 41 punch-outs, only 8 walks. So Oklahoma, folks, they can do it on the bump for sure.
Well, offensively, Oklahoma going to need these bats to crank it up. Campbell, Johnson, and Brock. Brock is the reigning SEC Player of the Week. He'll hit 3rd in this lineup, 333 overall, but they all run the bases. You got Gamble with 11. You got Brock with 11. This is certainly a team that can run with the best of them. But Willits at shortstop, one of the best in the country. Dayton with chance behind the plate. They can get the bottom 3 guys in this lineup to get them a few hits tonight. Could be a good night for the Sooners. We shall see. Because the guy on the mound has the opportunity to shut down just about anybody. Kason Evans.
Yeah, Kason Evans had about as good a freshman season as you could have last year. He was an All-American, an All-SEC performer, set in the back of that LSU bullpen and performed well back there. But that transition from bullpen to Friday night guy has not transitioned too great for him at this point right now. He's had some struggles. He's had some good outings. Last time out, the walks were an issue for him, so he'll try to clean it up because this is one of those teams, Dave, you can't afford to give free passes to because Oklahoma will make you pay for it.
Kason Evans is on. He is dangerous. We saw him at the tail end of last year, really the back third of the year. Kind of just made his presence felt. He was a shutdown guy when they needed him to be, and they're looking for him to be that as a starter. So we shall see as Oklahoma rolls in here with a 17-4 record, won 2 out of 3 against Texas A&M over the weekend. They did, however, start their trip to Louisiana with a visit to southeastern Louisiana, and they got shut out 3-0 on Tuesday night. Not a good way to start your trip.
No. First time they've been shut, Oklahoma's been shut out all year long. And year over year, their offense is 2 runs per game better, Oklahoma is, than what it was last year. So they're doing it on all sides of the ball right now. The defense has been solid for Oklahoma, and they are playing like a real top 10 team right now.
Sooners have won 7 of their last 9. And they jumped up a couple of spots in this week's poll under the direction of Skip Johnson, who is basically their, as he said, I'm the head coach of pitching. We got Reggie Willits, who's like their head coach of offense. And they've got a great staff over there at Oklahoma. Trying to get back to the NCAA tournament again. So we are just about ready to go here at Alex Box Stadium as LSU trying to improve on the 15-7 mark. They're 11-4 at home, and they have won back-to-back games. They knocked off Grambling here on their midweek contest and won their Sunday game at Vanderbilt. So back-to-back wins for LSU, hoping they can continue this streak in this opening game of this 3-game series. First pitch Misses a little bit low for Kason Evans as he faces Trey Gamble, the left fielder, hitting .346 with 4 homers and 17 runs batted in.
The key for Kason Evans tonight is make Oklahoma earn their way on the base pass. We talked about Oklahoma, one of the best teams in the country at on base percentage, a lot of walks. Batting average is up this year. And I think the first inning is going to be one of the most important for Kason Evans. One, Oklahoma's best inning offensively all year long has been in the first inning. So if Kason Evans can stack a 0 early, that's going to go a long way for his confidence.
Off the chest of the second baseman, Trent Caraway, who's making just his second start at second base. Actually, that was off Milam. The shortstop confused me. Milam, they had the big shift on. Caraway's over there at second base, but Milam was actually playing in the hole there. Now Milam goes back to short.
I'm still going to write down 4-3 because I like to know where he hit the ball. Technically, that's a 6-3, but I'm still writing down 4-3.
Milam, of course, played a bunch of shortstop every game at shortstop last year, but as a freshman, played a bunch of second base, and that's where he goes again as the shift is on. Well,
he's been so good. I mean, think about this. Milam made the transition last year from second base to shortstop, made 5 errors the entire season. He has not made an error so far at the shortstop position for LSU. That's how good he has been on defense for the Tigers.
So the 2-hole hitter, Camden Johnson, he's behind 0-2, hitting .338 with a couple of homers. And that's 3 pitches, and if the throw's good at first, that'll be a strikeout.
That is the bread and butter, folks, right there for Kason Evans. Fastball, we know it's a mid-90s fastball. It'll tick higher than that, but the difference maker for him is that changeup. And watch this thing just bottom out. It's in the zone a long time, and it just disappears. 4-pitch mix for Evans: fastball, slider, curveball, and that wipeout changeup that he's got.
And here is Brendan Brock. 6'3", 200-pounder, junior college transfer. Came out of Southwestern Illinois Community College, where he was a first-team All-American last year. .462 average, 96 hits, and 20 home runs. That'll get you a look.
This is an older team that Oklahoma has. I mean, it's all juniors and seniors in the starting lineup with the exception of Kyle Branch over there at second base. He's a sophomore. But other than that, it's a lot of experience. Oklahoma brings back 5 starters from last year's team, so they have a lot of veteran leadership.
The 2-1. That one misses. 2-2 now. Wow. That one slips past Aaron Beatty. He can't find it. That'll be a strikeout, but the runner safe at first. Well, I just took another nosedive on Aaron Beatty behind the plate.
Well, Kason Evans has got that changeup dancing early in this ball game. The ball kicks, but right there you can see Aaron Beatty didn't quite see where the ball went. It just trickled about 6 or 7 feet to his right, but he thought it was out in front of him.
Called it a wild pitch on a swing and a miss. It's a tough break. But now you get the 4-hole hitter, Jackson Willits, come to the plate. .350 on the year. The junior out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. Jackson involved with a little, I guess it was a little disruption last week against Texas A&M on a little bat flip. Got him ejected. Had to miss game 2. Stirred the pot a little bit.
Yeah, we got a lot of celebrations going on, you know. Maybe a little bit too much from time to time. But I get it. Emotions. But look, when you get to this 30-game grind, emotions begin to run high.
He came back after that suspension on Sunday and went 2 for 4 with 4 RBI and 2 doubles. Willits, who started 60 games at shortstop last year, hit .302. Runner goes, and I know that Aaron Beatty was paying attention. He didn't come out of there ready to fire at all.
Almost looked like, was that a delayed steal maybe? But this is the kind of team, if you're behind home plate and if you're a pitcher, man, you can't go to sleep with these base runners. They will steal third just as quickly as they'll steal second.
Foul tipped, and we'll do it again.
Well, the best pitch so far for Kason Evans has been that changeup. That's how he's picked up both of his strikeouts.
That one is off the mid of Aaron Beatty, and he's going to make the throw to first, and this time it's done. A 4-out performance by Kason Evans with 3 strikeouts. Moving to the bottom of the first. This group, and they can get this thing going in the right direction. Offensively, this is how he filled out his lineup card tonight. Stephen Milam, Jake Brown, Derek Curiel, Omar Cerna, the freshman, hitting in the DH spot. John Pearson over at third base today. You see Zach York hitting 7th, Trent Carraway, and then Chris Stanfield, who, when you talk to Jay Johnson, first of all, he lights up that he's back in the lineup, but believes this guy can be a different. When he's in the lineup,
yes,
it makes everybody else better.
No doubt. I mean, you talk about defensively, he's a center fielder playing left field, so he can really cover some ground. And, of course, he led the Tigers in SEC play last year in batting average, did Stanfield. But that's who LSU's going to go against right there, the big left-hander, Cameron Johnson, all 6'6", 255 pounds. For him, it's about controlling his emotions. He was an LSU Tiger a couple of years ago and then transferred into Oklahoma last year, his second season at Oklahoma. And, of course, stay in the strike zone. It's never been about the stuff for Cameron Johnson. He can spray it from time to time, but from the left side, it's elite stuff. Fastball is going to be anywhere from 94. He'll take it up to 98, a little changeup and a slider as well. But for him, it's about attacking over the white part of the plate. Now, he was really good his first 4 starts. He had a total of 5 walks his first 4 starts, but the last time out against Texas A&M, you see what he did. Only went 2 1/3, 7 base on balls. So if you're LSU, it's about being patiently aggressive against Cameron Johnson.
The Tigers hitting .285 as a team. That is 12th in the Southeastern Conference. Home run hasn't quite been as aggressive as it has been with past clubs, 32 on the year. To put that in perspective, Georgia leads the league with 69 home runs this year.
Yeah, LSU's 32 home runs, ranked 7th in the SEC right now. But if you look at runs per game, LSU 8.7 runs per game, the exact same thing as what Oklahoma is runs per game at 8.7. That kind of sits in the middle of the pack in the SEC.
Milam, the 5'8" junior out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Former freshman All-American back in 2024. Had a nice series against the Commodores, went 5 for 14. Well, fouled off at the plate.
Stephen Milam's been one of those guys ever since he put an LSU uniform on 3 years ago. It seems like he performs the best in the biggest moments. You see him at the SEC tournament, walk-off home runs. He performed really well in Omaha last year as well. And Jay Johnson's trying to find a little kick in his offense, and he just a few games ago kind of changed a little bit last week against Vanderbilt and put Milam into that leadoff spot.
Monster Milam looking at a 1-2, and that one misses on the inside. You know, we're talking about a guy like Cameron Johnson on the mound. Obviously came out of high school, and everybody wanted him, and it came here, and it just didn't work out. He gets a chance tonight to face. That one's foul out of play. Gets faced this LSU team, and you just wonder, like, emotions, Ben.
Yeah.
You can say all the right things, but I got to imagine, like today when he woke up, the thoughts, the emotions all running through you.
100%. Because you're talking about a young man, and yes, Cam Johnson's been around for 3 years now, but if you look at his total 3 years career, Jay, Dave, he's only thrown 53 innings in his 3-year career. So in a lot of ways, he is still learning his body and learning himself.
Off the end of the bat. This is what it looked like a couple of years ago. He was the face of USA Baseball as a 13, 14, 15-year-old. Went to IMG Academy and then came to LSU and just didn't click. I mean, there was really no animosity about anything. Just felt like he needed a change.
Yeah, you talk about a big-time recruit, too. He was the number 2 left-handed pitcher coming out of high school in the draft is what he was rated by Perfect Game. Drafted by the Cardinals, chose LSU instead.
There's a high chopper to third, gloved over there nicely by Camden Johnson, who makes a heck of a play to get the first out of the inning.
Boy, that's a nice play by Camden Johnson right there. Ball had a lot of topspin on it, but I love the way he positioned his glove. He kind of anticipated where that ball was. Watch him kind of put his glove right on his hip right there. That's exactly where the ball went. Squares the shoulders and a perfect throw over to first base. Well done by Camden Johnson.
That'll take us to one of the best hitters in the country, Jake Brown, out in right field, hitting .400 on the year with 11 homers and 37 runs batted in. That is top 5 in the country. Also has thrown in 7 doubles just for the heck of it, because he can.
Just for fun.
He looks at 93 miles an hour for a strike. Started 44 games in right field. Hit .320 last year. 8 home runs, 9 doubles, and 48 RBIs. And really a big part of the run to the national championship.
No doubt. Performed really well in Omaha, really well in the postseason for the Tigers.
That one stays inside.
Something to look for in Cam Johnson, too, Dave, is take a look at where his misses are. He has trouble getting the ball to his glove side. So down and away to the right-handers, he's going to mostly want to pitch to his arm side. See where he's missing? And when he misses, that's where he misses to his arm side.
That walk is powered by Sunshine, your hometown.
So the walk to Jake Brown. Put him at first base with 1 out, and that'll take us to Derek Curiel, the 2025 National Freshman of the Year after starting 68 games. Hit a team best .345, 7 homers and 20 doubles. 55 runs batted in. I think the most important part of that whole thing is he scored 70 runs.
Yeah, got on base a lot at the top of the lineup. It's very rare a freshman comes into the SEC and gets everyday playing time, but it's even rarer to plug him in the leadoff spot at the top part of your lineup. And he goes to more of his traditional defensive position this year. He transitioned from left field to center field for the Tigers this year.
Starts him off outside the plate. Curiel out in front, 1-0. Derek on a bit of a heater. He's hit 9 of his last has a hit in 9 of his last 10. Riding a 6-game hit streak. 4 for 12 versus the Commodores last weekend. Well, now it's 2-0.
Yeah, Curiel can beat you a lot of different ways. Typically a really good eye at home plate, not afraid to take his walks, but he's been bunting a little bit more this year. He's been putting the ball on the ground and beating it out because of above average speed as well.
Flips a little 96 in there, first strike.
The LSU has not run a ton this year. They got 21 stolen bases. That ranks 14th out of 16 teams. But Cam Johnson's 6'6". He takes a while to uncoil and get the ball to home plate. So I'm just wondering if LSU is going to take a chance and run a little bit more on Cam Johnson.
Boy, now it's 3-1. Oklahoma staff, 3.60 ERA. That is right in the middle of the pack, 8th in the SEC this year. Auburn's the best at 2.26. Here's the 3-2. Well, why run when you can walk?
That's right. This is what we talked about Cam Johnson. Again, he was really good at controlling the strikes on his first 4 starts, and it started to get sideways his last time out. 7 walks, 2 strikeouts in his last game.
Now batting for LSU.
And if you're LSU, man, you hunt the fastball. That's what you do, because Cam Johnson typically so far this year in 5 starts, he's going to throw 75% fastballs. That is a big number.
Yeah. And here comes the true freshman out of Houston, Texas, Omar Cerna Jr. He is in the designated hitter role tonight. He's riding a little mini 4-game hit streak. 5 for 16 over that stretch. But had a big game against Grambling on Tuesday night. 2 for 5, a double and a home run. Cerna this year in his first collegiate season hitting .429 with runners in scoring position. 1 down. Cerna had no home runs in the first 14 games of the season, but he has come back with 2 in the last 4. And has 9 runs batted in the last 7 games, which is why he's in the DH role today, but a big swing and a miss.
That looked like the changeup right there. So fastball, changeup, slider from Cameron Johnson.
Two and two.
Pitch count starting to climb too. 22 pitches for Johnson here in the first.
And it's full 3 and 2. Jay Johnson calling an offensive timeout.
Little gamesmanship here, if you will. Make Cameron Johnson think about it. This is a big pitch. Biggest pitch of the game. I know it's early in the game, but this is a big pitch.
From what you've seen from his arsenal right now, obviously it's such a big pitch. Where do you lean on if you're him? Is it?
I think Skip Johnson's in there calling balls and strikes right now, and so it's about what pitch do you feel like he can throw a strike.
He hopes
right
it's
now.
a strike.
Right. And whatever you can throw for a strike right now, that's what I need you to throw. And for me, it's got to be the fastball.
Yeah.
Because Cameron Johnson, he doesn't get hit. I mean, opponents are hitting 207 off of this kid. Again, it's about can you get the ball over the white part of the plate. If you can, you will have success.
All right, let's see what we have here. 3-2, 2 on. He pulled it, and it's ball 4. That is 3 consecutive walks.
Yeah, the wheels are starting to spin now.
And Skip Johnson says, wait a second.
Yeah.
Got to get him to take a deep breath here. He got Stephen Milam to ground out to third to start this inning. Nice play over there at third by Camden Johnson. But then it's been walk, walk, walk to Brown, Curiel, and Cerna, and now John Pearson, the third baseman, stepping to the plate.
And Skip Johnson's as good a pitching mind as there is in the country. He understands pitching in a big way.
He said Camden had one of his best bullpens of the year this week.
That's a number you don't want to see right there. More balls and strikes.
Well, for the first time this season, John Pearson steps to the plate with the bases loaded. A .294 hitter with a couple of home runs. The sophomore out of West Monroe, Louisiana.
And he's a dead red fastball hitter. That's what Pearson is.
Up and in, ball 1. Well, you know what Cameron Johnson's hoping for. A little ground ball here.
That's the good news for him. He's just one pitch away from getting off the field. If he can create that ground ball, The other piece to that is, of course, he can really strike you out. 34 strikeouts coming in just 23 2/3. So if he can ever get ahead and expand the zone just a little bit, he'll pick up a strikeout.
Well, that's way off the plate. 2-1. There's a strike to Pearson, who's played. This is his 13th game of the season. 5 for 17, couple of home runs. And already some movement, some activity. Xander Mercurius, the right-hander. Three and two the count. Got him. That's out number 2.
That was huge right there for Cam Johnson, because clearly it's ball 4. But John Pearson just a little bit too aggressive right there. And that's exactly what Cameron Johnson needed. Not out of the woods yet, though. Now you got to deal with Cade Arrambide.
Arrambide, LSU catcher tonight, 282, 4 homers, and 14 runs batted in. That one's off the plate to the sophomore. He had a 5 for 13 weekend in Nashville last weekend, couple of doubles. Arrambide, though, does lead the team in strikeouts with 23. Yeah. He's 0 for 2 with the bases loaded this year. But he's ahead 2-0. 3-0. Nowhere to put him. Already 33 pitches this inning.
And if you're Arrambide, I don't even think you swing until you get 2 strikes. You just leave the bat on your shoulder and make Cam Johnson throw 2 consecutive fastballs for a strike.
Brown's at third, Curiel's at second. Omar Cerna's over at first. The 3-1. And that one misses. And LSU will strike first on the 4th walk of the inning.
LSU's first run is presented by Toyota.
Give an RBI to Arrambide, his 15th of the year.
First baseman, number 33, Zach York.
And here comes Zach York, the first baseman. A senior transfer out of Campbell, California. By way of Grand Canyon, 3 years there with Grand Canyon. Hit 13 homers last year, 339 average. He's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs this year for LSU, and he's behind 0-2. He was 1 for 9 in Nashville, but did have 4 walks. Got him. Inning is over. But a bunch of pitches, 38 of them in the first for Cameron Johnson. He walks 4. And LSU leads it 1-0. LSU leading 1-0, moving to the top of the second inning on what has just been a fantastic, beautiful day here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Glad you could join us here on ESPN. Oklahoma's offense, how about the walks? 142 walks for this group. I mean, that is up there. They are 6th in Division I with those walks. They're 3rd in stolen bases with 66. after tonight. And they lead the conference, obviously, in both of those categories. They're now going to have to fight from behind. A good inning for Kason Evans in that first inning.
Yeah.
18 pitches, 13 strikes, had 5 swings and misses.
You know, and the changeup looked like the changeup of last year for Kason Evans. I think that changeup this year has been elevated a little bit. He's not had quite the control with it.
And he will start Dayton LaChance off with ball 1. LaChance, the junior, a junior college transfer. McLennan Community College. Played for Skip Johnson's son in junior college. He says Dayton is one of those old school catchers. Tough guy back there behind the plate. And nice little play over there by Pearson at third base. Actually, I think they made a switch. They moved Caraway. God, it's hard to keep up with LSU's defense.
Just put down 5-3.
They put Caraway, who starts at second, over at third base and moved Pearson to second base. Obviously, they knew that there was a pull hitter up and wanted to get a better glove over there at third base, and it worked out well for him. But
that's where Caraway has played the majority of his reps this year. And this is only Caraway's second start over at second base of the year. Most of his starts have been over at third base. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's about putting a little bit better glove where you think the ball is going to get hit.
Jay Johnson making us work tonight up here. Gotta keep an eye on all that. Alec Blair, the freshman. Not many freshmen get the opportunity. As you mentioned earlier, we saw Derek Curiel last year play every game for LSU. Alec Blair is one of those guys that can play the majority of the games for Oklahoma. He is just a fantastic freshman, hitting .359 this year with a homer and 17 runs batted in.
That's a nice swing, too. That was a nice flat swing through the zone.
Skip Johnson described him as an Andy Van Slyke type. Former Pittsburgh Pirate, but Blair grounds out to Caraway, who's in his starting position at second base.
Yeah.
At the plate for the Sooners.
Yeah, been an interesting little dynamic here in the first inning and 2/3.
Well, they're shifting again. I mean,
well, we saw the shortstop make a play at second base in the first inning. Then we saw the second baseman make a play at third base. And we just saw the second baseman make a legit play at second.
And now Milam goes all the way in between first and second from his shortstop position.
I'm going to ask you again. I know I asked you a bunch last year. How do we feel? How do we feel about the shift in college baseball?
Well, I don't mind it in the college game because the offense is so good in the college game. Obviously, at the big league level, we got rid of the shifts to try to promote more offense into the game. But offense has not been a problem in the college game.
Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. Another nice inning for Kason Evans. LSU leads it 1-0.
The real fun is just getting started.
This is why I love this sport so much.
Right where we should be this time of year.
The celebration is on.
It is good to have college baseball back. It seems like it just ended.
I know.
Doesn't it?
Got here quick. Opening day in Major League Baseball is what, next week? That's almost here as well.
Of course, the World Baseball Classic got a lot of people around the country excited about baseball right up until the end.
Right up until the very end.
That one misses to Trent Caraway. Trent hitting 8th in this lineup. I wonder what kind of rope that Skip Johnson gives his pitchers tonight with walks. He's already seen 4.
Well, it's a deep pitching staff. You never want to take your Friday night guy, Thursday night in this situation, out of the ball game this early because it really hurts you for game 2 and game 3 if you got to go through several more relievers from this point. So he's going to give Cameron Johnson a chance, but I have a feeling a walk or 2 in this inning and he's going to be out of the ball game. You just can't let the game get away from you here.
Did have 2 strikeouts, but had 3 consecutive walks. And then a 4th later in the inning to produce a run. Caraway hitting .246 on the year.
Look where LeChance, the catcher, is setting up. He's setting up all the way to the inside part of the plate because the misses have been to the arm side. So he's trying to get that ball over the middle part of the plate, moving the target over a little bit for Cam Johnson.
Now batting for the Tigers, left fielder, number 1, Chris Stanfield.
Cameron Johnson's had at least 7 strikeouts in all 5 of his starts. He's had a couple of games where he didn't have any walks. But he has 5 of those tonight, 43 pitches, only 18 strikes.
I mean, 5 base runners so far for LSU. Not one hit yet.
42% strike rate. Not going to get it done. Chris Stanfield, the 9-hole hitter. Got hurt in the 2nd game of the season. Slid home, hit the catcher with his hand, and just got back into lineup last week. And boy, did they miss him. Jay Johnson was really excited to have him back playing every day.
Well, in his senior year, he brings a lot of experience. And as we talked about earlier, he led LSU last year, hitting toward the bottom of the lineup. He led them in conference play, hitting over 300 in conference play. You talk about the defense. I mean, LSU's defensive outfield, man, one of the best in the country. You talk about being able to go and get it. There's 3 guys out there that can play center field.
Missed a total of 16 games.
He kind of slid head first, as you mentioned, in game 2 and kind of jammed that left hand of his. You see he's got a lot of wrapping, a big batting glove on it. And I was talking to him before the game around the batting cage. He said it's not 100% yet. He said I would say it's closer to 80, 85%. I just got to get some strength back in there. But he had a nice weekend, his first weekend back in SEC play against Vanderbilt last weekend.
Yeah, 4 hits in that series. Had a hit and 2 RBIs against Grambling on Tuesday. That one hops, and Caraway's trying to get down to second, and he will be in there safely.
Dayton LeChance behind home plate for Oklahoma, man. It's tough when you're facing a guy like Cameron Johnson. It throws so hard and not quite sure where it's going yet. Ball just kicked far enough away. A good read by Caraway. Takes an extra 90, gets in the scoring position with nobody out.
3-2 count coming to Stanfield. Young man out of Tallahassee, Florida. Fouls that one off. We talked about Stanfield and really just getting him back in the lineup, the former center fielder in left field. You put Jake Brown in right, Curiel in center, Stanfield in left. You got 3 center fielders running your outfield.
If it stays in the ballpark, that outfield's going to run it down.
Chopper over to third. That'll keep Caraway there, and a bad throw gets away. LSU going to try to pick up their 2nd run. The throw is high, safe at the plate. Caraway slides in.
Well, I tell you what, Josh Jordan, the third base coach for LSU, big time decision right there. He saw the ball kick away, and he just gave the windmill to Trent Caraway. So you're going to see the throw right here. Pushes him back towards second base. The throw kicks right there. It's kind of up the line a little bit. When it kicked away, watch Josh Jordan over at third base. He is going to crank Trent Caraway. See the ball kick away, and it kicks just far enough away. Stanfield goes to second base, and Caraway scores from second base to give LSU a 2-0 lead now.
So how big was that advancement on the wild pitch that put Caraway down at second base? So Camden Johnson with that throwing error, and it's 2-0 LSU, and back to the top of the lineup, and Stephen Milam. With first time through the lineup, Cameron Johnson just 4 first pitch strikes.
Let's see if Stephen Milam's going to put a ball on the ground right here. No, doesn't look like it.
I mean, it's really not even close right now for Johnson.
No. And again, if you look at the misses, a lot of the misses are to the arm side.
Yeah. He picked it up early.
So if you're a right-handed hitter, you can look for the ball middle away off Cam Johnson. If you're a left-handed hitter, you look for the ball kind of middle in.
Shot out to center field. Catch is made there. Runner tags. Stanfield trying to get to third in a hurry, and he'll be there safely.
See, that's the difference. with having Chris Stanfield in the ball game right there. He can take an extra. That ball was not hit very deep to the center field. Picks it up, goes back, puts a foot on the bag, and watch. He can see the center fielder walk, catch the ball, and really easily takes an extra 90. And that's the difference that Chris Stanfield can make to an offense right there. His glove in the outfield, his speed on the base pass.
First out of the inning. Jake Brown. Jake, his first time up, walked and scored. Jake's hitting .400, but that'll get you in a tie for 8th in the league. Bryce Chance of Mississippi State, a former walk-on, has become a catalyst in the 9-hole for Mississippi State, hitting .431 to lead everybody in the SEC this year. Ryan O'Connor, new head coach at Mississippi State, isn't about to move Bryce Chance out of the 9-hole.
Not with that kind of production. Why move him now? Because the tendency would be, well, let's move him up in the lineup, but let's not wake him up. Let's leave him right where he's at. But if you're Jake Brown here, you read what the defense is doing with 1 out and a runner at third base. The middle infielders are pushed back. You'd love to get a base hit here, but just a routine bouncing ball up the middle will play another run for LSU.
Up and in. And that's another walk. I just keep looking over there, and it's only a 2-0 game. So if you can squeeze another couple of innings out, it's game 1 of the series, right?
Yep.
You don't want to start running through arms.
And you got a lefty coming to the plate, Curiel. And if you look what Cam Johnson has done against left-handed hitters this year, they're hitting .083 off of him coming in. So you let him face the lefty. Now, if he doesn't get this lefty here, you may see a pitching change with some right-handers coming up.
Runners at the corners, only 1 down for Derek Curiel. First pitch strike, and they're at 94 miles an hour. Big swing and a miss, 0-2.
Boy, it's hard to believe this is going to be Cam Johnson's 60th pitch of the ball game here in the 2nd inning.
Boy, Curiel hitting .500 against left-handed pitching. Runner goes. Throw to third. Nobody's covering the bag. Another run will score.
Seemed like some miscommunication there because the catcher, the chance came up and threw a dart. But Camden Johnson down there playing third base, he never really went towards the bag at all. The chance looking in the dugout like, hey, I thought the play was on. We're going to pick behind the runner right there.
He said, what the, and then stopped right there, thankfully.
So some miscommunication.
They're going to score that an error on the chance behind the plate. It's 3-0 now. 2-2 the count to Curiel. Don't see this very often. 3 runs on no hits in the bottom of 2nd inning.
Well, we talked about Cam Johnson. The stuff is elite. Can he get it
chopper,
over the plate?
And they make another error. That'll get Curiel out to second base. And this has been a total meltdown by Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma's defense has been pretty solid this year, but it has not been behind Cam Johnson. It's almost like the first baseman, Taki, never really got set up. The throw from the second baseman, Branch, was obviously not on line. LSU scores yet another run, up 4-0 here in the 2nd.
How about the Tigers' designated hitter, Omar Serna Jr.
So here is Omar Serna Jr., who walked his first time up. That'll go as an E4. Curiel will get an RBI. Cerna's first time up. Saw a very similar at bat. Got ahead in the count, drew the walk. Cerna came out of Texas, out of Houston, Texas, as the #1 ranked catcher in the state, #4 ranked catcher overall, #4 overall catching prospect in the nation, and a top 100 overall recruit.
I mean, Jay Johnson thought he wasn't going to get Cerna to campus. He thought he would turn pro and be drafted, but Cerna wanted that college experience. That's back-to-back years for LSU getting the #1 catcher in the state of Texas to campus. Aaron Beatty a couple years ago, #1 catcher out of Tomball, Texas. And Omar Cerna Jr. makes his way to Baton Rouge.
And that one hit him. Wow.
I think you got to go get him. You just got to get him at this point.
That is a walk that Skip Johnson did not want to make. Boy, Cameron Johnson's return to Baton Rouge did not go the way he anticipated. Or really anybody wearing an Oklahoma uniform anticipated. 6 walks, a hit batter, a wild pitch, and all told, it's 4-0, and his night is over. Oklahoma going to the bullpen. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Your eyes do not deceive you. There are no hits on the board for LSU, but 4 runs have come across. 3 Oklahoma errors, 6 walks, a hit batter in the first inning and a third here in Baton Rouge. And Xander Mercurius gets the ball. The freshman, welcome to the game.
Yeah, and he has been outstanding so far. All 5 of his appearances have been out of bullpen day, but look at the ERA, 1.69 ERA for the freshman. It's a big arm. Fastball is going to average 95. Got a little cutter and a slider and a changeup as well.
He'll face John Pearson with runners at first and second and 1 out. Pearson struck out his first time up. LSU has yet to get a hit tonight. They're 0 for 6 as a team, but of course 6 walks certainly help you out. They're 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. 1-1 the count to Pearson. Cerna's over at first. Curiel's at second base. Shot out to center field. Curiel flying around third. The throw goes that direction, and an RBI single for John Pearson, and it's now 5-0 LSU.
Pretty good read right there by the sophomore Derek Curiel. He took a peek before that ball went to the plate. He saw where the center fielder Walk was playing, and he realized this was going to be a base hit right off the bat. Curiel never hesitated. First base hit of the night for the Tigers, and now up 5-0 here in the bottom of the second inning as Curiel scores.
Batting for the Tigers, catcher Aaron Beatty.
Cade Aaron Beatty steps in. He walked with the bases loaded, picked up his 15th RBI of the year. He lays off that pitch up and away, and he's out in front, 1-0. 3 errors in an inning. 3 errors in a game is a lot. But Oklahoma's had 3 errors this inning.
Yeah, and look, Cam Johnson didn't throw enough strikes, obviously, but the defense did not help him either.
3rd time this year. Oklahoma's had 3 errors.
Well, this should be a green light special here for Aaron Beatty. 2-0 count.
Popped him straight up. Jackson Willits says he has it, and he does, and that'll be out number 2.
Well, Aaron Beatty got the pitch he was looking for, man. Fastball pretty much right down the middle, but right at the top of the strike zone.
So Oklahoma will move the defense a little bit to the right side of the field. They'll have to keep the shortstop near the bag because the runner's at second base, but Zach York steps in. Zach looks at a fastball at 93 miles an hour. Zach struck out looking to end the first. 6'2", 295.
Yeah, he can fill up a batter's box, no doubt about that.
Up and in. Zach can just hit. I mean, his 3 years at Grand Canyon, 328 average, 32 homers, 157 runs batted in.
And it's not all pull either, Dave. He will hit the ball to the backside of the field, too. When he's right, he's blistering the ball out toward left center field. There's a good changeup.
He's the career record holder for home runs and RBIs at Grand Canyon. Got him. Took a little something off it, and that'll end the inning. But LSU puts 4 on the board. Their lead is 5.
Fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
And welcome back to Baton Rouge. You see the Intimidator out in right field. Of course, it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the legend himself, Skip Bertman, who has made his way to the ballpark, been coming to many of the home games this year. Always great to see him. How about five national championships for that man?
Yeah. 5 in what, 9 or 10 years, I
Yeah.
guess it was. LSU won their first national title in '91, and when they started winning them, they didn't look back.
91, 93, 96, 97, 2000. Paul Maneri gets one in 2009, and Jay Johnson has him in 2023 and 2025. So Kason Evans has been on the bench for a while, watching his team put together a 5 spot on Oklahoma through 2 innings.
I'm going to tell you, Dave, as a starting pitcher, though, you don't mind sitting there when runs are getting on the scoreboard in your favor.
95 miles an hour in there for a strike, 1-1.
But nothing changes, even with a 5-run lead early in the ball game. Nothing changes for Kason Evans. Attack the strike zone.
Kyle Branch hitting 8th in this lineup, the sophomore out of Lucas, Texas. Made the all-freshman team last year for the Sooners. Started all 60 games. Ground ball right back to Evans. Handles it. Underhand toss to York, and that'll be the first out.
Yeah, Kason Evans is a heck of an athlete. Matter of fact, he was more highly rated coming out of high school as a shortstop than he was a pitcher. Can really defend, a heck of an athlete.
At the plate, for Sooners, center fielder, number 1, Jason Wall.
So center fielder Jason Walk. That one's up in the zone. The bottom 3 in this Oklahoma lineup hitting just 214, 191, and 222.
Yeah.
They can get one of those guys to kind of get a couple base hits for them. Kind of changes the dynamic of that lineup.
Yeah, because if you look at the top 6 in this lineup, they can really hit.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody hitting well over 300. But to get down toward the bottom, things change a little bit.
Walks at 222. And Walk certainly, if he gets on base, he's going to cause some havoc. He's already got 9 stolen bases in 11 tries. And that one's just off the plate, up and away. And count even now at 2-2.
That's a curveball from Evans there. And believe it or not, he didn't break out the curveball till the Tigers got to Omaha last year, and he started. Been throwing that slider, been working on the curveball, but finally brought it into play in Omaha. And now it's one of his better breaking balls. Gets ahead, just missed with the curveball, and comes right back with it.
Two down in the inning, back to the top of the lineup, Trey Gamble. Already 5 strikeouts tonight for Evans.
And there's that arm right there. How about that 97?
So Ben, as a guy that topped out at 55 miles an hour a couple years ago on the radar gun, I'm going to ask you this as a guy who threw 100. He's been throwing 95, and then all of a sudden we see 97. Is he stepping on it, or is it just come out of his hand a little differently to give him the extra velocity?
I think both things could be true. I mean, he might want to step on one every now and then to change speeds with his fastball. But I also think that the more, for me, I started to feel my mechanics about the second, about the third inning, and it's when I started feeling comfortable with what I had that particular night.
Well, that was 97 delivered out to left field by Trey Gamble.
Pretty good piece of hitting right there, because you got to respect the all-speed stuff from Evans, because the changeup's been good, the breaking ball has been really good too, but that's just a fastball on the outside part of the plate and a really nice inside-out swing by Trey Gamble.
I wasn't kidding, by the way. I was pitching some BP to some kids a couple years ago, and they had a radar gun, and I loaded
55.
up.
You almost broke the speed limit.
I loaded up, and I pumped 55 in there. It was a strike, though, Ben.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Look,
can you get it over the white part of the plate?
I didn't even have to ice my arm after that. So what happens when you keep it down around the 50s? You usually don't have arm problems.
Good point.
Yeah. Camden Johnson struck out his first time against Kaysen Evans. Remember in the first inning, Kaysen actually got a ground out and then struck out 3 Sooners, but one of the balls got away from his catcher and couldn't make the play at first, so safe over there and had to get the 4th out of the inning. Gamble 11 out of 11 in stolen bases. Over to first base. York with a little backhand stab and steps on the bag. Sooners get a hit, leave a runner. They trail by 5. Good crowd on hand here at the box on a Thursday night. LSU leading 5-0. Well, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship first round begins tomorrow. Our ESPN games start at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with UC San Diego and TCU, followed by Nebraska and Baylor. TCU men and Nebraska men won today in the men's side of things. Here at the PMAC tomorrow, LSU takes the court. A 2 seed this year. They'll take on Jacksonville. The other game tomorrow here in Baton Rouge, Villanova and Texas Tech. LSU's tipping off at 5 o'clock local time.
Kim Mulkey and company. The PMAC will be rocking at 5 o'clock local time tomorrow.
Trent Caraway to start things off. First pitch he sees. Fouls that one off. It'll be the 8th hole hitter, the 9 hitter, and then Stephen Milam in the top of the lineup. And that's a base hit for Caraway.
Trent Caraway got off to a really good start for the Tigers early in the year. They started slipping a little bit, but that's him at his strength right there. Letting that ball get deep, letting it travel, and then just shoving it the other way. Good start for the Tigers here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, he needed it, Ben. You talked about it. He had a 7-game hit streak to start the season, but only one hit, or only has a hit in 5 of the last 14 games, and went 0 for 5 in that Vanderbilt series. But he stands at first base for the 9th-hole hitter, Chris Stanfield. Chris reached on an error, came in to score. .292 on the year. Lays down the bunt. It's a good one. Mercurius makes the throw to first, but that'll move Carraway to second base. So Stanfield doing his job.
Just a perfect bunt. Boy, he killed that one right there out in front of home plate. Just kind of deads it right there around home plate. Nice play by the pitcher, Mercurius. LSU with another runner in scoring position.
Here's Stephen Milam back to the plate as the lineup flips over for the 3rd time tonight. Oh for 2. Milam was on that College World Series all-tournament team. Hit .350 in 5 games with a couple of doubles. High in the air. Out in the right center. Walk is there to make the catch, but that'll be good enough to get Carraway over to third base with 2 outs.
All right, decision time for Oklahoma. Do you pitch to Jake Brown in this situation? Obviously, you got first base open and 2 out.
Brown has walked both of his at-bats and scored each time. Hitting .400 on the year with 11 homers and 37 runs batted in.
I'm just watching LaChance, the catcher for Oklahoma, and seeing where he's setting up and see how aggressive Oklahoma wants to be with Jake Brown. Went right after him.
High chopper. Had a shift on for him, and it worked out pretty well. So they get Jake Brown retired, but LSU leads it 5-0. When we come back, we'll visit with LSU skipper Jay Johnson. LSU leading Oklahoma 5-0 as we move to the top of the 4th inning here at Alex Box Stadium. Dave Neal, Ben McDonald, and joining us now is the LSU head coach Jay Johnson. And Jay, just you know, you've kind of had a little stub your toe, I guess, a little bit, but it seems like this team, being around them today, watching them, it seems like the confidence level is really high. Is that what you feel from your guys?
Yeah, we're just going to work. We're focusing on the work, and we need to play better baseball. And so everything is solution-based, not emotion-based. And if you do it that way and you do it right, you can play with confidence. And guys' response has been good, you know, mentally the last week and a half or so, and we're just going to keep going.
Speaking of doing some work, Kason Evans doing some work for you right now. He looks really sharp to me. Looks like the all-speed stuff, the breaking ball and the changeup, kind of what we saw a little bit from him last year.
Yeah, we made a couple adjustments with his prep. He's elite. I mean, we don't lose very much when he's on the mound, going back to last year and this year, and you're seeing some of that right now. So I like seeing number 20 on the mound for the Tigers.
All right, Jay, we'll let you go,
All
buddy.
right, thanks.
Always a pleasure. At least nobody laid down a bunt this time while he was talking to it. Last year that happened. He was talking to us.
He quickly got off the headset.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. But, you know, listen to him talk about Kason Evans. And as he said it, man, you know, this season, so much is on his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. It's one thing to be towards the back end of the bullpen, and Kason Evans as a freshman was an All-American. But to go to the Friday night spot, it's different. I mean, you set the tone for the weekend, and right now Kason Evans is on point. Picks up another strikeout, just dots the I. on the outside part of the plate. And what he's done so well, he's retired the leadoff batter of every inning so far. And if you can do that as a pitcher, man, the chance of the other team scoring goes way down from there. There's a really good changeup.
He has 6 strikeouts now, by the way, as Jackson Willits steps in. Boy, I love watching Jackson play. He is a lot of fun. A junior shortstop. Hit over 300 last year, starting all 60 games. Former Oklahoma High School Player of the Year. Of course, his dad, Reggie, on this staff, kind of, as Skip Johnson says, the head coach of the offense.
Yeah.
And he loves the way Reggie runs, put pressure. You know, they like to call it chaos.
Yeah, and that's what it is. When they get on base, and Jay Johnson made the point to us in a Zoom call as Casey Evans picks up yet another strikeout, this time with an all-speed pitch. But Jay Johnson told us in a Zoom call yesterday, the way you beat Oklahoma is you play from ahead against them. You kind of take away their running game. Because a lot of teams, when they get down 4 or 5 runs where Oklahoma is, they'll kind of shut down the running game a little bit.
Yeah.
When they get ahead of you or even, that's when they're going to pressure you up even more.
Just pumping strikes.
Yeah.
Dayton LaChance. He grounded out his first time.
Everybody talks about pitching as defense. I look at pitching as offense. Pitching is putting a hitter on the defense right away. Can you pump in strike one and put him on the defense right away? And that's what Casey Evans has been able to do. And that's what you expect from your Friday night guys. He's got them all working right now. I mean, the fastball command is good. We've seen him up to 97, mixing in 2 different breaking balls, a slider and the curveball, and the changeup has been really good as well. Chance here to punch out the side like he did in the first inning.
Seven strikeouts for Evans. 6 of those have been swings and misses. One looking tonight. He's ahead here, 1-2.
Wow.
That is strikeout number 8 and the 7th time. Wow. The Sooner has been retired on a swing and a miss.
Casey Evans putting on a show tonight, folks. How about punching out the side? 8 strikeouts on the night. Tigers up 5-0 going to the bottom of the 4th.
Well, if those pictures didn't tell you where we are, then we got to do some work. Baton Rouge. We're just about a mile from the new bridge.
That's right.
Over the Mississippi.
That's the
built
new,
1970.
That's the newer bridge. It's like
60.
40-something years old now, but it is the newer of the 2 bridges that go over the Mississippi River around here.
5-0 LSU out in front. Boy, what a gorgeous day. I know there's been some chill in the air the last week or so, but it is just absolutely good temperatures in the 70s today.
It's perfect. I mean, you couldn't order it any better than this.
Derek Curiel to step in here at Alex Box Stadium. Curiel at .326 this season. I still think one of the remarkable stats of last year for him was that 43-game on-base streak that he had. Now, it wasn't a school record. We're talking about a freshman coming in.
Yeah. I think Dylan Cruz has the school record for reaching base consecutive games. But, yeah, for a true freshman to do what he did last year. And don't forget, Derek Curiel is a draftable sophomore, projected to be a first-round pick this year.
By the way, that record's 71. By Dylan Cruz.
That's
he did
pretty good.
Every game of the 2023 season.
Boy, did he ever. Between him and Paul Skeens a few years ago. Big time stuff.
2-2. That's big time stuff from Curiel. You mentioned Curiel is draft eligible. Some of the prospects. Justin LeBron right now, number 3. I mean, if you haven't seen him play, you need to make sure you find him. Liam Peterson's been unbelievable for Florida. Florida's got that Gator staff look about him again. Gabe Gackle at Arkansas has been fantastic as well.
The Gators are flat out pitching it this year, man. They got some big-time arm. Liam Peterson leading the way. Gabe Gackle with the Razorbacks.
I get to go see this weekend over at Tuscaloosa. Get to go see Justin LeBron and Liam Peterson and company play a little baseball.
Yeah.
Gators rolling to Tuscaloosa.
I'm going to make my way to Stark Vegas in the morning. Go do Vanderbilt and Mississippi State tomorrow night, so that'll be fun.
Both those teams won their opening series, 2-1, Mississippi State. Excuse me, Arkansas won that series 2-1 against Mississippi State. That ball's driven high to right field. That looks like it's going to stay in the park, and it does, right at the wall. But Curiel will tag up and get to second base.
I think that just goes to show you how strong Omar Cerna Jr. is. And he didn't hit that ball that well, but it pushed Brock all the way up against the wall, straight away right field. Derek Curiel quickly back to the bag to take an extra 90 and get in the scoring position. This is an LSU team. We talked about it. They don't steal many bases, but what they do well is take an extra 90 on you, whether it's a bouncing ball that gets away from the catcher, scoring from second base, or even tagging up. We've seen that a couple times tonight. They've taken an extra 90 on some marginal plays.
John Pearson, 1 for 2. Picked up an RBI, his 6th of the year. His average up to 316. Boy, he took a big cut at it.
One thing about John Pearson, he's not going to get cheated at home plate. He's not feeling for it, Dave. He's looking to do damage, and that's what he's in the lineup to do.
One and two. Comes from a baseball family. Those that follow LSU baseball, well aware of that. Of course, Josh, big part of LSU's season.
Yeah, John's big brother Josh, a 4-year starter in the outfield for LSU.
And the oldest brother, Jacob, drafted by the Angels in the 3rd round of the 17 draft. Well, ESPN is now the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB.TV. Here is Kate Arambidi. 0 for 1. A walk with the bases loaded gave him an RBI and popped it up his last time at the plate. Working against Xander Mercurius, who at least to this point has kind of settled things down for Oklahoma.
Well, that's his job. Maybe to stack a few zeros and give his offense a chance to kind of climb back in it.
The freshman has gone 2 1/3, 3 hits, 2 strikeouts. The big thing is no walks.
Yeah, he's got a good little breaking ball he's using to the right-handers just off the outside edge. Fastball's been in that 92 to 95 range.
Of course, his older brother LJ has been fantastic.
Boy, has he ever. LJ 4-1 on the year with a 1.59 ERA. He's the game 2 starter for Oklahoma.
That one's just off the plate. There's a high chopper. Willits comes up, fires across the diamond, and the inning is over. LSU will leave a runner. Lead is 5-0.
Tigers 1 night. Through 4 innings, LSU 5, Oklahoma nothing.
Kason Evans has just been on point. If this is the start Jay Johnson wanted, he's certainly getting it tonight. Ben, what has been so effective?
I think a little bit of everything. One, he hadn't walked a batter. He's been pounding the strike zone, getting the hit, but it's been the off-speed stuff for me. That's back-to-back changeup. There's a good breaking ball right there. Fastball to the inside part of the plate and right back to the curveball. So he's racked up 8 strikeouts tonight. Hasn't walked a batter. Only allowed 1 hit through 4 innings so far. So Kason Evans has looked like a real Friday night guy for LSU so far.
I think we call him dudes. He's looked like a dude.
Yeah. I mean, fastball's ticked up to 97. He's pretty much set at 95.
Leading off the 5th inning for Oklahoma, designated hitter Alec Blair.
So he will work into the 5th inning. Alec Blair, the freshman, steps in. Alec, the first time up, grounded out. Alex at 6'6", 195. He's behind 0-2. Lafayette, California. Was also, you know, he's a great athlete. You listen to Skip Johnson talk about him. Was a 4-star basketball prospect coming out and wanted to go to Oklahoma because he could do both.
Right.
But he has kind of turned his attention to baseball. Got all of 2 minutes with the Hoopers this year.
I did the same thing many years ago, and I kind of got away from basketball when I realized they could dribble the ball up the court faster than I could run. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just stick to baseball.
Yeah. But there is certainly a bright future for Alec Blair on the diamond. Played in 14 games, has a hit in 10 of those games. Went 4 of 11 versus A&M last weekend with his first career home run. And again, they'll check down to third base.
Really good changeup right there by Kason Evans.
Morris Hodges, his note. Or excuse me, Zach Neff over at third base. But there is a swing and a miss, and that is strikeout number 9.
Strikeout number 9 and 4 in a row now for Kason Evans. And boy, he has got that changeup dancing tonight. Watch this ball just disappear down the way. Looks like a fastball. When you hit off of Kason Evans, you know he's got 95 to 97 in the tank. So you got to get your foot down and go. And anytime he can land something off speed, especially in that location, it is going to be money for him.
Dayton Taki looks at a strike.
By far the best start of the year so far for Kason Evans.
You know, this is pitchers getting a rhythm, and they can go kind of at a better clip because of the pitch clock now. Batters have to be back in the box unless you call a timeout, and you get a couple of those again.
Yep.
But you have to be ready to hit. Eyes on the pitcher, ready to hit with 8 seconds. So it's hard to really slow, and that's what Taki's trying to do right now, taking this timeout, but you only get a few of those.
Yeah, and Kason Evans is one of those guys. He likes to get the ball back when he's in rhythm, and he goes quickly. It's no messing around with him.
Wow. Timeout didn't even matter.
How about 5 in a row, folks? Kason Evans got that changeup dancing like a minnow in shallow water tonight. That thing is exceptional.
Second baseman,
Because with 2 strikes where you're trying to get, all pitchers trying to get, it looks like a strike out of the hand. And as it travels towards home plate, it just bottoms out.
We were talking a little bit more and more. We're seeing pitchers, especially hard throwers, trying to sink the ball more.
Yeah.
Lately, it seems like that's the trend now.
It has been at the big league level for a while. Stephen Milam with another good play. Did he stay on the bag? Yes, he did.
Boy, Kason Evans just putting on a show here in Baton Rouge.
The strength of the SEC starts with great teams pushing each other to their limits for one title, for one champion. Tune into the SEC Championship Saturday on the SEC Network.
Well, 2 sessions, 9 teams, all ranked in the top 20. Session 2 seen as a national championship preview. #1 Oklahoma's won 3 of the last 4 national championships. LSU, #2 seed, the only other team to win a national title in the last 4 years. Florida and Alabama, they're ranked 3rd and 4th respectively. LSU, though, watch out.
They got 1 national title. Looking for #2 this year. Kaylin Chio for LSU. What'd she get? 3 perfect scores the last time out?
She's the #1 all-around gymnast in the country.
Floor and beam, I know for sure. I don't know what her 3rd event that she was in. Might have been the vault. Yeah, so vault,
right,
floor and beam.
You're an expert in the vault.
No, I'm not. No. I don't know how they stay on that board that's elevated off the ground. It's about 4 or 5 inches wide. How do they do what they do there?
Yeah.
Talk about athletes, huh?
You looked at me when you said that.
Well, I said athlete. I had to look at you first. 55 miles an hour. I mean, come on.
Here's Zach York, 2-1 the count. Big Zach. Well, that's it. Gosh, a mile in the air, but that should get to the roof at Alex Box Stadium. Again, I can't say enough about Xander Mercurius and what he's been able to do. 2 2/3, 3 hits, a couple of strikeouts, no walks.
He is doing exactly what Skip Johnson wanted him to do. Come in there and stack some zeros and give his offense a chance. The problem is Kason Evans has been on point for the Tigers.
Well, look, again, you're game 1 of a 3-game set. You don't want to start burning through 4 or 5 arms. If they can get another inning or 2 out of him, I think that would be a major victory. Boy, Zach York didn't even think it hit him. He stayed in the batter's box.
You could almost hear a little bit of a tick. Off the wrist, it looked like, or maybe just touched the hand, one or the other.
But his reaction kind of, did it hit the, no argument or disagreement from the Oklahoma dugout, but Zach York's reaction's like, okay, I'll take it. That's a big chain Zach wears. See that chain? I mean, that thing is
big chain for a big man. Well, he can pack it around.
He wears it well. Look at that. A lot of chain. Caraway. 1 for 1.
That is 4 out of 5 innings now. The Tigers have got the leadoff batter of an inning on. And that's putting pressure.
Skip Johnson back out to the mound. Boy, what a pleasure it was to visit with him this week and again today before the game. And you know, you start talking baseball, but then it spirals off into some other conversation.
As you know, he is a big outdoorsman. We had him on a Zoom call yesterday. We wanted to talk baseball with him, but we hardly ever got there because he loves baseball. That's his thing. But his passion, a lot like mine, is the outdoors, and he enjoys the outdoors big time. And all he wanted to show us today, he had his phone out for 20 minutes showing us, well, I chased this deer around. Well, we saw this deer. Well, we killed this deer. You know, it's just like, that's all he wants to talk about.
He is.
And I get it.
He is a character.
He is. Awesome guy.
Yep.
And a heck of a coach, too.
He is considered one of the best pitching minds in the game. Boy, he had a good one on the bump last year. Kyson Witherspoon.
Boy, did he ever. I mean, talk about a real dude.
Taken in the first round by the Red Sox.
You had Witherspoon and Cade Anderson in a big-time matchup last year.
Out to short. They'll get one there, across the diamond, and they'll get the double play as Caraway is retired. So Skip Johnson goes out there and says, just throw me a 6-4 3-ground ball. We'll be good.
How about for LSU?
Well, LSU struck first tonight in the first inning. A gifted run. Has 4 walks in that first inning, then a few more and a hit batter in the second inning. So they picked up 4 in the second. But the story tonight has been Kason Evans, without a doubt. to this point, his best outing of the year. Maybe his best outing was LSU career.
Hands down, because this is the best team that he's faced all year long. Obviously, Oklahoma ranked 8th in the country, and he has just thrown darts so far tonight. Only given up 1 hit to this point, 10 strikeouts.
Well, it doesn't look like Dayton LaChance can hear what's going on with the communications. There's a strike. Now, Skip Johnson does call pitches, but he was telling us, I give our guys freedom. I mean, if they don't feel good about something, I don't want them to throw it.
It's about conviction. And like he said, and I totally agree, you know, it's not always how the hitter is set up. It's what you have confidence in, and he gives his pitchers the ability. He calls the pitch, and you have the ability to shake off if you don't have confidence, throw that pitch. It's just a suggestion.
With some emphasis.
Yes.
Right. Stanfield 0 for 1. And he looks at a called third strike. So good work continuing for Xander Mercurius out of the bullpen. Oklahoma needs to get their bats cranked up. They're down 5. These two teams met on a Thursday night last year in Norman. Kyson Witherspoon on the mound against Cade Anderson. It was two of the best pitchers in America going toe-to-toe. And Cade Anderson, as good as Witherspoon was, Cade Anderson was a notch better.
Yeah.
136 pitch complete game, wins 2-0, a little over 2 hours. It was phenomenal. If you like sharp pitching, that was it.
Yeah, and you're kind of seeing that again tonight. And everybody says, well, what's wrong with LSU? And I said, well, Cade Anderson and Kason Evans are gone. I mean, you look at LSU's 1-2 punch last year. How about this? 24 wins, 3 losses for those two pitchers combined. And every Friday and Saturday night, you had a real chance to win because those guys were going out there stacking 0 after 0.
Second hit of the game as Walk slaps that one out into left field.
Yeah, and the first time tonight the leadoff hitter of the inning has gotten on for Oklahoma.
You just said something.
That's what you call beating the shift right there, Dave. Now, everybody swung over with the exception of John Pearson playing third base.
You just think about how, I don't know, LSU's had some great 1-2 combos in the past on the mound, but it's going to be hard to beat the Anderson-Ianson combination. Only play for Monster Milam, who shifted from short to second, is over to first. That'll be 1 down.
Well, LSU pushing all the right buttons on defense right now. Took their best glove, and Stephen Milam pushed him from shortstop over to the hole as he collects the out. Pitching has always been the biggest part of the game of baseball. When you got two dudes like LSU had last year, you are set up to win. Now, Kason Evans came in, Dave, with an ERA of 6.45 through 5 starts. And we were kind of diving through the numbers. He doesn't get hit very often. Opponents only came in hitting 216 off of him. But these are the situations that he has struggled in. Runners in scoring position. If you dig deep into the numbers, you go, okay, well, they're only hitting 216 off of him overall. But when you dig a little bit deeper, runners in scoring position off of Kason Evans this year, opponents hitting 345.
Yeah, that number kind of pops at you. That one's down in the dirt. Aaron Beatty comes up firing. Runner going to go to third. York's throw is off of Walk. He will come in to score.
Well, we talked about the speed, and you mentioned it earlier, Jason Walk. Hitting the 9-hole. Leadoff single. That's a really good changeup again. 11th strikeout of the night. Aaron Beatty pushes him back to second base, but as soon as pushes him back to second base on the throw, Walk is off and moving. York across the diamond ball, gets by right there, gets by John Pearson, and Walt scores easily for the first run of the night for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma chaos on the base paths.
That's their strength right there. I mean, it's a solid hitting team. They're hitting over 300 as a team. But the difference is when they get on base. That's when they begin to cause havoc. And you got to be clean on defense against a team like this.
Still waiting on how they're going to score that. Had to be an error on somebody. They're going to call an error on the throw by York, so it goes as an unearned run. Look, as a parent of a son who pitches in college, you're always wondering about how they're going to score games.
Well, right now, if they get the out, it's an unearned run. However, a base hit right here would make it an earned
flips
run.
it. Brendan Brock, the SEC Player of the Week. Full count, 3-2, swing and a miss. Evans says, that'll be an unearned run. Thank you very much. Oklahoma does strike for one. They trail by 4, moving to the bottom of the 6th here in Baton Rouge. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. From the magnificent Alex Box Stadium here in Baton Rouge, just a few clicks from the Mississippi River on a gorgeous night down on the bayou. Xander Mercurius has come in for Oklahoma and really stabled this ship because Cam Johnson got off to just a horrible start in a return to Baton Rouge where he started as a freshman. He gave up 5 runs. Only 1 was earned, though, because there were 3 errors, but he walked 6. Struck out 2 in an inning and a third, and threw 67 pitches in an inning and a third.
So that's 13 walks for Cam Johnson in his last 2 starts. So that's a little bit concerning.
Stephen Milam swings and misses to start the bottom half of the 6th inning.
I mean, Mercurius has come in and just stacked 0 after 0. And he's done it with a good mix, too. He's got a good arm. Fastball's been up to 94, but I love that little cutter. It's a hard slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it, on the outside edge. Changeup as well.
Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, went to Durango High School. Rated as a #1 right-handed pitcher and the 4th overall prospect coming out of Nevada. Foul tipped at the plate. Not one of these big, burly, 6'4", 230-pound pitchers. He checks in at 5'10", 185.
Yeah, it's advanced for me for a freshman. The ability to use three different pitches and throw them just about in any count.
Had the shift on. Round ball fielded there cleanly.
How about it for LSU? Regular Jake Brown.
Kyle Branch, whose older brother, Colby Branch, plays at Georgia, hit a walk-off homer midweek game for the Bulldogs. Jake Brown's hit a few homers in his career, 11 of them to be exact. Jay Johnson wants to take a time out here to discuss a few things with Jake. That gives us an opportunity to tell you the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship first round begins tomorrow. Our ESPN game start at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific with UC San Diego and TCU, followed by Nebraska and Baylor. And again, the LSU women hosting here this week. They'll take on Jacksonville. 5 o'clock Central Time at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Villanova and Texas Tech also in the building. It's been the crazy games on the men's tournament today. Yeah. Duke down double figures at halftime. Had to rally to win.
If you're a sports fan, the month of March, man. College baseball rolling in the conference play. You got gymnastics, SEC championship coming. You got the NCAA tournament, men's and women's.
That one's high, shallow left field, and the catch is made there by Trey Gamble. SEC's looks like they're going to have a pretty good start.
Yeah.
Perhaps 4-0. Texas A&M won. Vanderbilt won.
LSU center fielder
Arkansas with a big win. And Texas just won their opening game. And in reality, it was their second game because they won their first 4. Derek Curiel. Chopper to the right side. Branch makes the play. And that'll get the Sooners off the bench. If nothing else, Oklahoma may have been finding something here with the young Xander Mercurius.
LSU 5, Oklahoma 1.
5-1 our score, LSU, as we move to the 7th inning. Dave Neal and Ben McDonald, glad you could join us on ESPNU for some SEC baseball. And speaking of the Southeastern Conference, had 11 teams in the top 25 last week. Now there is 10. That's because LSU fell out for the first time this week. They were a preseason number 2 team, D1Baseball.com. But Texas continues to just kind of motor along, and Arkansas in there, Mississippi State. I mean, there is, we say it every year, but it's just the level of competition and the balance in this league is just brutal.
Well, we saw it last year. I mean, Texas in their first year in the SEC won the overall regular season championship. Vanderbilt was the #1 overall seed going into the NCAA tournament. Of course, LSU won the national title. To kind of give you an idea, Texas looks like they may be the strongest team in the SEC this year.
I'm going to tell you that now we are watching them because they're ranked in the top 10, but the Auburn Tigers, Butch Thompson, you want to talk about a balanced group. They're hitting it, pitching it, playing some solid defense. I would definitely keep an eye on them as this SEC league season unfolds.
Yeah, Auburn doesn't appear to have a weak spot at all right now. Not right now.
They beat Georgia Tech in their midweek game,
who has an outstanding team. Yeah, Casey Evans, how about that pitch? 95 miles an hour and just a paint piece on the inside part of the plate. How about a career high 13 strikeouts now for the sophomore Casey Evans? You can't throw a fastball any better than that right there.
And now has a career-long outing of 6 1/3 innings. It has been a career night. Two hits on the board for Oklahoma. That one is shot foul. As you see that foul ball, it makes me think, you know how good a guy's stuff is. We haven't even seen many foul balls tonight.
No.
A lot of swing and misses from Oklahoma against Casey Evans.
Best outing of the year, and it's not even close.
He's gotten their 3 and 4 hitters to combine for 6 strikeouts.
Yeah. And Brendan Brock came in hitting .333. Willits came in hitting .350, and they are 0 for 6 combined with 6 strikeouts. That's how dominant Casey Evans has been.
He's gotten Dayton LaChance once, trying to get him twice on an 0-2 ground ball to third. Guess who was standing over there? Caraway.
Caraway. He moved on us again.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Tip of the cap for Jay Johnson in regards to knowing guys' tendencies, moving your second baseman over to third because of a better glove.
It's been a defensive masterpiece from Jay Johnson so far. That's called doing your homework, understanding where guys typically hit the ball, then trying to put some of your best gloves in those spots.
You know, and now that I've gotten kind of the rhythm of his defensive moves, it's been, you know, the first inning, we're trying to figure out who. But now we got it.
Or at least we think we do anyway.
Right.
They're in their normal positions according to the scorecard right now.
I mean, there's the shift, and then there's the Jay Johnson shift. See, now this time he's going to keep Milam more toward the middle of the infield. He's been moving him over to like true second base. Hammered off the netting by the Oklahoma dugout. Remember, Cade Anderson had those 4 strikeouts of Oklahoma batters in Norman last year in that fabulous performance. Jason Evans trying to match him with 14 here tonight.
This is an Oklahoma team that doesn't strike out very often, but they have tonight.
Alec Blair just slaps it through that open side of the infield, and he'll be on first.
Love that approach right there, man. Get the 2 strikes, respect the off-speed pitch, let that ball travel, let it get deep, and just shove it the other way.
Can't wait to see this guy's, Alec Blair's career unfold before our eyes.
Pitch hitting for Oklahoma, number 21, Drew Dickerson. Dickerson is the pitch hitter.
So Drew Dickerson grabbing a bat for the Sooners. And he will hit for Dayton Taki. Dickerson, 6'4", 210, the sophomore out of Lee Summit, Missouri. He was with the Sooners last year. Mainly a designated hitter a year ago. Had a couple of games in the outfield, but hit .309 in his limited work with 5 homers and 4 doubles. First pitch he sees, chopper to Milam, and his errorless streak continues here tonight. 5-1, LSU out in front. Heading to the bottom of the 7th inning, LSU 5 runs on 3 hits. Oklahoma has certainly helped LSU tonight. Sooners with 3 hits, but 3 errors. So LaChance will be over at first base. He was behind the plate. Dickerson, who just came in to pinch hit, will move out to right field now for the Sooners. And Brock will catch. Brock was out in right field, so they just make that change. And Xander Mercurius back on the mound, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Yeah, he has saved Oklahoma tonight. There's no doubt about that. Because if Oklahoma can get out of here, even if they lose this ball game and maybe only use 2 or 3 pitchers, that sets them up pretty good for tomorrow and Saturday as well.
His season high of work was an inning and 2/3. Off the bat of Cerna, and that will be against the wall. He's going to try to stretch this into 2, and he'll be in there standing up.
Yeah, Cerna kind of hesitated a little bit going around first base and put the brakes on, and then got back in gear to get to second base. First ball, fastball hunting, boy, he pulled those hands in tight to the body, gets the barrel to it, and a rocket. Gamble out left field. I don't think he realized this ball was hit as hard as it was. The angle wasn't great. Ball gets by him. Cerna ends up at second base.
That'll be the 3rd double of the year for the freshman.
LSU trying to get the offense going again. 1 in the first, 4 in the second, and nothing since.
John Pearson looks at ball 1. John 1 for 3. I wonder how many swings he's taken over his life. When his parents, mom and dad, run the Pearson Baseball Academy in West Monroe, Louisiana.
Several.
I mean, like, you're thinking every day. I'm just thinking like a kid that loves baseball every day.
Every day. He's got a job to do here, and that job with nobody out and runner at second base is get a ground ball to the right side if you can. If you get a base hit, it's icing on the cake, but find a way to move that runner to third base.
Boy, big hack at that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2 the count. Sped him up a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe drop a little spinner on him.
Well,
there.
Mercurius is trying to keep the ball in the inside part of the play because he does not want Pearson hitting the ball to the backside of the field. He's trying to force him to pull the ball so the runner at second base won't advance. Now, it's harder to do for a hitter to get the ball to the backside of the field, especially in a 2-strike count. So he's trying to go right back in there again. You can see where the catcher Brock is set up.
Missed it. What kind of freedom did you have as a pitcher at LSU to kind of make your own decision?
You had freedom. I mean, you better have an explanation with
Yeah.
Coach Berkman when you got back to the bench why in that situation. But it was a suggestion, and he told us, he said, I don't have a problem with y'all shaking it off. If you don't have full conviction and throw that pitch like you want to, I don't mind you shaking it off. Because I never question pitch selection as much as I question pitch location. And if you can throw the ball, even though it might be the wrong pitch, if you can throw it in the right spot, you're going to have success more times than not. But like if he would call curveball and I just didn't have a good feel for the curveball that day and I threw it anyway, I don't throw it with quite the conviction that he wanted me to throw it. And so I had the ability to, okay, no, I don't like that pitch. I'd rather throw the changeup or the fastball or whatever. And I think that's how most coaches are. It's a suggestion, as you mentioned, probably a strong suggestion on what to throw.
The 2-2. Out to right field. Is that going to stay in play? Yes, it is. Fair ball. Cerna held up at third. That'll be a double for Pearson.
I don't know that Cerna got a good read on that ball hit down the line right there. Because from where we're sitting, it's easy read here. You can see the right fielder. Dickinson was not going to catch that ball. But I guess Cerna got hung up at second base just to make sure the ball's not caught. But the ball going off the right-handed bat's going to be slicing away from the right fielder. And what a piece of hitting that was by Big John Pearson right there. Just melts this ball, one hopper off the wall. So now you got a second and third, no out situation. Infield will be forced to come in.
So a pinch runner at second base. William Patrick comes in to run for John Pearson, who leaves with a couple of hits, a single and an RBI in the second, and that double, which probably should have been an RBI. We'll probably have a little chat with Omar.
Yeah, I mean, so important to get the right read. I mean, that's the difference between scoring and not scoring.
Aaron Beatty 0 for 2 with a walk.
Nice pitch.
Nobody out. Runners at second and third. Infield in. You and I were just talking about coming into this inning how this was far from over, a 5-1 game, but LSU had not had, I mean, up until the 2 hits here, they were on 3 hits. They were gifted runs. It wasn't like they were just smashing it all over the ballpark.
No, and LSU would love some insurance run here as we get to the back third of this game.
But they have a chance for some major separation here. Aaron Beatty chases that one.
Big time pitch right there by the freshman Mercurius.
Of course, going to be another hectic weekend of baseball. Texas and Auburn going to be a great showdown in Auburn. Florida and Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss out in front of the Cats, 4-0 in that one. Vanderbilt and Mississippi State from the Dude.
Yeah, that'll be a good one too.
Skip Johnson going to the bullpen. Boy, what a night for Xander Mercurius. We will update his numbers when we come back, but his night is over. Well, there's our new pitcher, Nate Smithberg, the redshirt sophomore out of Libertyville, Iowa. Junior college transfer. 6'2", 257 pounds.
Boy, has he been good this year, too. Making his 6th appearance. They've all been out of the bullpen. Has not allowed a run yet this year. 4 innings of work, 3 hits. Hasn't walked a batter with 5 strikeouts. Boy, Xander Mercurius, you talk about good, Dave. He saved Oklahoma 5 innings of work, 5 hits. Has not allowed a run as of yet. Of course, he's responsible for runners over at second and third, but I love the fact he didn't walk anybody, and he gave this Oklahoma offense a chance to climb back in it.
Well, I think he just kind of elevated his spot in this Oklahoma bullpen with today's performance. His longest outing was just last week against Texas A&M, and that was an inning and 2/3. He struck out 4, didn't walk anybody in that game, and then does this tonight. Now, he is responsible for these 2 runners,
right,
but nonetheless, it was a banner performance for the freshman.
Yeah, Smithberg going to show you a little bit different arm slide from the left side. Way down there, fastball 90 to 93, a little cutter, slider, and a changeup as well. Infield still pushed in for Oklahoma.
Zach York drops one in. That'll get both runners home. Cerna scores. And Patrick, who was a pinch runner, comes in to score as well. And it is now 7-1.
Well, there's your insurance right there. Thumbs up from the LSU dugout. And the big fella, Zach York, just kind of stays in there off that lefty. Watch his body. See how the body doesn't bail? Because, I mean, it's easy for a left-handed hitter, especially from that kind of arm slot way down low. You feel like the ball's coming right at you. But the big fella just stayed on it and buried it out in center field for a 2 RBI single. LSU now up 7-1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Zach York, his first hit of the game, produces RBIs 11 and 12 on the year. Trent Caraway steps in. Transfer from Oregon State. Spent a couple of years with the Beavers. Was voted the Corrales Regional MVP last year. Set an Oregon State NCAA tournament record with 6 home runs last year.
Yeah.
In the postseason.
Yeah, he hit 5 in the regionals, hit 1 in the super regional. 12 homers on the year, and half of them came in postseason play.
Smithberg, 91 miles an hour. It is 2-2 on Caraway. I don't see a lot of lefties throw at this angle. There are a few out there, but not many.
You would think it'd be a very uncomfortable at bat for a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, the fact that York hung in there that last at bat, quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, what York can hit, and you mentioned what he did at Grand Canyon. Hit for a high average, as you mentioned, the all-time home run hitter, all-time RBI in Grand Canyon history. Batting average maybe not where he wants it so far, but he still gets on base a lot. He's got a very good eye at home plate, walks a lot, and that's a Jay Johnson offense. I don't care how you get on base, just get on base.
Stays inside on Caraway, full 3-2. And he walked him. So a hit and a walk since Smithburg came on. Well, ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Skip Johnson making the walk back out to the mound. Going to make another change. Isaac Williams making his way onto the Alex Box Stadium diamond. LSU has put 2 across here in the 7th to push their lead to 6 runs over Oklahoma in the opening game of this series. And Isaac Williams, the right-hander out of Fleming Island, Florida, 6'1", 200-pounder, getting the baseball.
Another Oklahoma reliever having a wonderful season so far. Look at the ERA, 1.50. Has not walked a batter with 8 strikeouts. Pretty good arm, too, from the right side. Fastball is going to average 95. Little cutter, slider, and a changeup to go with it.
And he'll face Chris Stanfield. There is 1 out and 2 on. First pitch in there for a strike. You and I were wondering where Fleming Island, Florida was. It's outside of Jacksonville along the St. Johns River.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. Right near between Doctors Lake and St. Johns River, Fleming Island. Near the Eagle Harbor Golf Club and the golf club at Fleming Island. That's how I identify where places are.
Where golf club, yeah.
Right.
Golf courses are, huh?
Today was a golf day for sure around here. Stanfield checks his swing. A couple of years at Auburn for Chris. Now in his 2nd season with LSU. Time called again. There's some technology issues. We saw it when Dayton LaChance was behind the plate. Now we see it when Brendan Bach is back there. You know, some teams were trying to pull the old I can't hear my equipment as to slow the game down, but now they're like, no.
Give me that. Let me test it. Let me see if I can hear it. Yeah. Well, we see that at the big league level, too. Because the pitch clock starts to run out. Somebody steps off. Oh, I got a pitch comm issue, you know. And it's hard to tell if it's true or not, you know. A little gamesmanship, if you will. But this looks like it's definitely an issue. Somebody forgot to charge the batteries all the way up.
There you go. Now we're cooking with gas.
Or we got a bad battery, one or the other.
Two and one on Stanfield.
Man, whatever happened if I put down 1, it's a fastball, 2's a curve, I wiggle
Long
my fingers
gone.
a little bit.
Long
Hey,
gone.
just take a little off.
Would you rather have like the earpiece kind of thing, or would you rather have the wristbands at some guys?
No, I would rather the earpiece thing. Yeah. The wristband thing would drive me crazy, looking down at my wrist the whole time.
I could see that.
But I think you can get used to anything, you know. I mean, the game's changed, obviously, and the way we catch. The biggest difference for me is, you know, catchers are being taught now to give the target, and when the pitcher comes down the slope, the glove drops to the ground, and catchers are working from the ground up. So what are the pitchers actually throwing for? What's the target? When the glove drops, then I don't see the target anymore. See how the glove drops right there?
Yeah.
So as a pitcher, now I have to pick up a spot on the catcher to be able to throw the ball to, and that's got to be hard to do. And we're seeing a lot now at the big league level, even in colleges. Catchers are sitting more in the heart of the plate now. And I remember asking some pitching coaches last year at the major league level, I said, why, no matter what the situation of the game is, no matter what the count is, why are we having catchers set in the middle part of the plate? And the response from multiple pitching coaches was, Ben, do you know what the average miss is for a big league pitcher? The average miss is 11 inches.
Goodness
That's
gracious.
the average miss. And so we are setting up in the heart of the plate, knowing the ball's not going to the heart of the plate. It's going to be 11 inches to the left, right, up, or down. And that's why we're doing that now.
Boy, if it's 11 inches at the big league level, I wonder what it is at the college level.
Exactly. And so now if you throw 55 miles an hour, you kind of probably got a little bit better accuracy.
Yeah, I did. I told you when I threw 55, it was a strike.
But that's where the game is now, and especially at the big league level, and even in the college level, when you get the back end relievers come in, like it's just attack. We're going to outstuff you. That's what it is. We're going to big velo, big spin rates on breaking balls. We're just going to outstuff you. But it's got to be tough for pitchers to get used to, because I was always a big glove guy. I wanted to, where you wanted the ball, I wanted the glove to be there. And now with them dropping it like that, to me it changes things. But catchers feel like, and the analytics say, that we can steal more pitches if we drop the glove to the bottom and we work from the bottom up. We can steal a few more pitches.
That one misses up in the zone. 3-1. Stephen Milam. Dealing with a ground out, a couple of fly outs, and last time up, grounded out to second base. Out to center field. That'll be the third out of the inning, but LSU does pick up a couple of runs after leadoff doubles come home to roost. 7-1 Tigers. Well, the story in this one is clearly Kason Evans. 7 innings pitched, career high in that regard, and a career high 13 strikeouts. Going back out there, 95 pitches for Kason.
Yeah. And I get it. I mean, look, the pitch count is starting to get a little bit high. But remember, LSU Friday, Saturday, Sunday series next weekend, so an extra day's rest for him. So maybe that's the idea, is I can maybe stretch him a little bit longer because he's going to get an extra day's rest. Because if you go back to Kason Evans' last start against Vanderbilt last weekend, he only threw 83 pitches. And so maybe Jay Johnson feels like, okay, with an extra day, I can stretch him a little bit more than what I would typically do.
Pinch hitter for Oklahoma. Deshaun Harris grabbing a bat. Deshaun, a .320 hitter, making his 19th appearance of the year. He has started 5 games. 8 hits, 25 at-bats, 3 runs batted in out of Plano, Texas. He has been with this Oklahoma program for 3 years now.
Well, this is the outing that Jay Johnson and pitching coach Nate Yeski's been waiting on from Kason Evans. Kason Evans' first 5 starts, Dave, we talked about this before the game. He's only averaging 4.5 innings per start going into this one. But I tell you what, he has got them all going tonight. That's the newest pitch, the curveball. You talk about just straight down. That ball started just about letter high. By the time it got to home plate, down below the knees, an outstanding pitch. And how about strikeout number 14 on the night for Kason Evans?
Same number Kate Anderson had last year against the Sooners in a complete game. Remember, that game too, you're worrying about pitch counts. Jay Johnson let Kate Anderson go 135 pitches.
Yeah, and I think it was the same situation where it was a Thursday night game. He was going to get an extra day's rest for the next weekend, and so decided to stretch him a little bit more. And I don't mind. The pitch count at the collegiate level doesn't bother me because you get so many days off. You get 7 days and sometimes 8 days before you pitch again. Big league level is a little bit different. You're on a 5-man rotation. You pitch in every 5th day, so you start getting to 130, 135. It could be a difference maker, but not so much at the collegiate level.
The 1-2. Went fastball, fouled out of play.
And even 100 pitches in now, 103 for Kason Evans. He is carrying that velocity. Still got really good snap on the breaking ball. Changeup's been good. There's another good changeup.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Threw him 94 and then spun one in there for the strikeout.
folks, this is what I call putting on a show. And Kason Evans is putting on a show. He walked out to the mound today with his chest stuck out saying, "Hop on, boys, because I got my A game," and he has had his A game tonight. Control has been elite. All the pitches have been working.
13 of the 15 strikeouts have ended with a swing.
Look, and it's 15 strikeouts against no walks. And last time out, Kason Evans walked 5 against Vanderbilt. So you talk about turning the corner in a quick amount of time.
The lineup flips back to the top, and Trey Gamble has one of the 3 hits. He may have just jinxed him on the walks. 3-0. See if he can battle back here. That's in there for a strike.
This is when you throw it right down the middle and say, see how far you can hit it.
Now it's 3-2. Another fastball.
Can he get to number 16 on the night?
Up and in, 96 miles an hour on pitch 110. Kason looks to the dugout and he says, "Come on, let me finish this."
I can finish it, but Jay Johnson quickly out of the dugout. And boy, the fans here at the box are going to be on their feet for Kason Evans.
What a night. A career night for Kason Evans. Hard to top. 15 strikeouts and 1 walk.
Yeah.
And the pitch, like I said, pitch number 110 was 96 miles an hour.
And how about the percentage of strikes, too? 110 pitches on the night for Evans, 76 of which were strikes. That's big time.
Jay Johnson has seen enough. Kason Evans will get a great round of applause for his effort tonight for the LSU Tigers. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Alex Box Stadium. LSU's SEC home opener has gone the way of the Tigers. 7-1 our score here at the top of the 8th inning. LSU making a pitching change after what has been a fantastic night for Kason Evans. Now they turn it over to Ethan Plog, the sophomore out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Trying to close this one out. He can give him an inning and a third.
Transferred to LSU at Iowa Western Community College. A little bit of everything. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup as well. Fastball's going to be right in that 91 to 94 range.
He's behind 2-0 to Camden Johnson. Camden came in hitting .338. A couple of strikeouts tonight, 0 for 3. Fouls that one. Average has dropped down to .324, so you look for his first hit. Off the fist, that'll be a base hit. Don't have to hit them hard, just hit them where they're not.
Hit them where they ain't.
So Kason Evans tonight, I'm just looking at some of these numbers. His 15 strikeouts tonight is the most by an LSU pitcher in an SEC game since Kurt Ainsworth struck out 16 at Tennessee on April 2nd, 1999. Wow. Think about that for a minute.
That's getting it done right there. That's what you call a good night. Gave up 1 run. It was not an earned run.
Jay Johnson trying to get this 3rd out of the inning. As Casey Evans talking about, telling his boys, yeah, did you see that breaking ball I threw in there?
See my changeup?
Yes.
It was a death ball
Did you
tonight.
see
That's
90,
what it was.
Did you see 96 at my pitch 110 tonight? Did you see that? Also the 15 Ks, by the way, the most overall by an LSU pitcher since Anthony Ianson struck out 15 against North Alabama March 8th of last year. And here's a look. Now, we're going to stay here because it's going to take us this entire segment here to show you all of his strikeouts.
Yeah, when you got to get through 15 of them, we'll take a look at it. Man, he had them all going from the beginning. The changeup was the pitch early, and that's how he got a lot of strikeouts. Then the breaking ball started to come after that. Fastball ticked up to 97, but, man, you talk about elite command, elite stuff for Casey Evans. Career-high innings pitched, career-high strikeouts as well. He pitched like a real number 1, a real ace for LSU tonight. I mean, he had them all going. The breaking ball, and again, let's not forget, that's a curveball that he first started throwing in a ball game in Omaha last year, and now it's probably his best off-speed pitch.
Really good is how I would describe that.
Yeah, outstanding. For a team that needed him to go out there and do that. LSU came in with the worst team ERA in the SEC, a little bit over 5. And so for him to go out and do what he did against a top 10 opponent really sets the tone. You see what he did last year. That was last year's number when he was an All-American in his freshman year. 7 saves. He said at the back of the bullpen, he came in some big moments in SEC play. Look at the balls. 19 base on balls last year, 71 strikeouts. So certainly something for Casey Evans to build on for his next time out.
You know, I think as LSU as a whole, wondering the importance of this game, Ben. You win the last game at Vanderbilt, right? You had some games that were in your grasp in Nashville and didn't win till Sunday. Then you win your midweek game against Grambling. So you won 2 in a row. I think the importance of stringing together another win here, make it 3 in a row, and the opener against the top 10 Oklahoma team,
right,
could be a significant moment for this team this year.
No doubt. And we talked about the offense. Going into this game, the last 5 games, LSU was averaging a little over 9 runs per game. So the offense started to come around. And the question was that we talked about in the open was, could the pitching and could the defense begin to match the offense? Well, been mission accomplished so far. LSU does have 1 error on the scoreboard, but the pitching's been outstanding.
Jay Johnson not messing around, getting Zach Cowan out of that bullpen to try to close this one out. That ball's lifted in the air. Out to left. Stanfield there to make a catch, and the inning is over. 7-1 LSU. Casey Evans very happy with the performance. Great to be down on the bayou here in Baton Rouge. It's crawfish season, Ben.
It is crawfish season. I had me some mud bugs yesterday.
Yeah, good for you. You can have mine.
Come on, man. Don't be like Kyle Peterson.
You know what?
I called Tony Seafoods, and I got Kyle Peterson a bunch, and he didn't want to get his hands dirty. I was sitting there peeling crawfish for him.
I was going to say, if somebody could peel mine,
you would eat them then?
I'd eat them. So maybe next time I come, maybe we can get that taken care of. LSU out in front, 7-1. Crowd kind of dwindling out as the evening has progressed, but had a really good crowd on a Thursday night here at the box.
It feels like it's always a good crowd here at the box. People in Baton Rouge love their baseball.
11,217 paid attendance tonight.
Hitting off the 8th inning for the Tigers, right fielder Jake Brown.
Jake Brown will lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, Jake Brown been on base twice, couple of walks, 0 for 2.
Jake's in a slump. His average is down to 391. Couple of walks tonight. 94 miles an hour from Isaac Williams. Three 0 the count to Brown. That one misses, 4 straight out of the zone. Jake Brown's only gone hitless 4 times this year. You know, he was hoping he'd get a strike.
Yeah.
His last at bat tonight, perhaps, but gets the walk.
This round is brought to you by Action Industries.
Skip Johnson says 4 pitches that don't miss the zone is not a way to start the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship first round begins tomorrow. Our ESPN games start at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific with UC San Diego and TCU. That'll be followed by Nebraska and Baylor. The madness has begun.
March Madness. It is finally here. They got a lot going on in the sports world, man.
Did you get to the NCAA tournament?
Yes, my freshman year we made it to the Elite Eight.
That's right.
Bobby Knight, Indiana.
Yeah.
We had the last second shot. Ball went in and out to win the ball game.
How, as from a player perspective, I know things have changed in a lot of the time that you played hoops, but I mean, just how cool was that to be a part of the NCAA tournament?
So cool. I mean, when you're 18 years old, you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. But I look now back on my freshman year, and it's like, who gets to play in the Elite Eight and go to the College World Series in the same year? And I was lucky enough to do that my freshman year. And I thought that's what I'm supposed to do, you know. But you look back on it and go, God, how lucky was I to be able to experience
what a double dip.
March Madness.
Aren't many people can say that.
No, I mean it just.
I mean, really think about it.
And then you look back and you say, who gets to play for Dale Brown and Skip Bertman too? I mean, 2 of the greatest coaches ever, you know. And so yeah, I was very fortunate to say the least. It was a dream come true in a lot of ways because I grew up and still live 20 minutes from the university, and remember sneaking in baseball games at the old box when I was a kid. They had a hole out in the fence in left field. You didn't have to pay. You could just kind of sneak in, you know. And I used to do all that kind of stuff. And then to finally get to wear the purple and gold was obviously a big thrill for me.
Well, here's Jaden Barfield making his 7th appearance of the year.
Yeah, only pitched 3 1/3 so far. Walks have been an issue for him. See 6 walks and just 3 1/3 so far.
Now batting for the Tigers, center fielder Derek Curiel.
So Derek Curiel will be the first one to face the sophomore out of Pearland, Texas. His 2nd season with the Sooners. Starts Curiel off with a strike. Derek 1 for 3.
Yeah, so far Derek Curiel's made big improvements against left-handed pitching. You go back to last year, he hit .243 against lefties. You mentioned it earlier. He's hitting a much better this year off of left-handers, and that was the one thing talking to him why he said, look, I had a great freshman year. And of course, he was named D1 Baseball's SEC Player of the Year in the preseason, but he said, I got to get better against left-handed pitching, and he's done that so far this year.
And he takes a called 3rd strike. 3 pitches. And back to the dugout goes Derek Curiel. First out of the inning. Omar Cerna Jr. A freshman has walked, been hit by a pitch. He doubled in the 7th inning. He is 1 for 2. .91 miles an hour from Barfield. He's ahead 0-2 now. Out to short. Willits fires.
No way.
Did he make the tag? They're going to say safe at first.
That'll go down as an infield hit for Omar Cerna Jr. So a 2-for-3 night for him. You mentioned a double earlier. Now a single.
Boy, the range from Willits, quite impressive.
That was a big-time effort right there. It's Jack Ruckert, the freshman out of Catholic High School right here in Baton Rouge. We'll get an at-bat.
Ground ball up the middle. Step on the back, throw to first. And now they get the Tigers off the field, and we are heading to the 9th inning. Oklahoma down 6. Seven to 1 our score. LSU trying to close this one out. It has been a dominating performance on the mound for LSU tonight to hold this Oklahoma team to 1 run on 4 hits to this point. Although I need to go back and backtrack. I got some errant information earlier.
All right.
15 strikeouts by Kasey Evans tonight. Is the most for an LSU pitcher in an SEC game since Paul Skeens struck out 15 at Auburn May of 2023.
Yeah, Paul Skeens pretty good at the time striking out guys, and been pretty good at the big league level striking out guys as well.
But that's still, he ties for the most. Kurt Ainsworth still had 16 though. It didn't take away from Kurt Ainsworth's 16 against Tennessee in April of 1999. The record for strikeouts in a game for LSU is 17. Ty Floyd did that against Florida in the College World Series.
That's right.
Jackson Willits. If you had Ty Floyd, not that anything wrong, Ty Floyd was a good pitcher here, but if you had him as the LSU strikeout single game record holder,
you need to buy a lottery ticket. Yeah. Go to Vegas.
With some of the arms that have come through here over the years. Ty Floyd.
Ty Floyd always had the ability. It just started to click for him late in that year, and he was one of the big reasons why LSU won that national title back in 23.
Zach Cowan on the mound, coming off a fantastic performance against Vanderbilt. Went 3 1/3, struck out 4, walked none.
This is the guy LSU has to get going in their bullpen right here, because he was such a big part, was Zach Cowan, of the championship run last year when LSU won the national championship. Kind of was Chase Shores, it was Cowan, it was Evans at the back end, and when those three guys were healthy and right, man, they were difference makers back there. And Cowan's had a little bit of a struggles this year. Maybe the command not quite as sharp as what it typically is, but as you mentioned, his last time out against Vanderbilt, he looked like the Zach Cowan of last year.
Little number off the bat. That'll be a foul ball.
Zach Cowan's got a changeup, and when he's right, man, he can almost land that changeup just about in any count, any situation. Not an extremely hard thrower, but a guy that really knows how to pitch. Can move the fastball both in and out. Good little breaking ball and an outstanding changeup.
Dayton LaChance 0 for 3. His average down to 343. That one gets away from Cowan. 2-2 the count. Down in the dirt. That'll be a strikeout for Cowan. A little contact there as Aaron Beatty was trying to corral that baseball. It rolled right into the baseline. No harm, no foul.
Designated hitter, Alec Blair.
So 2 down. Alec Blair extended his hit streak to 6 games with that single back in the 7th. Here's a little chopper back to Cowan, and this will do it. LSU wins the opening game over 8th-ranked Oklahoma here at the box on a Thursday night behind a fantastic night for Kason Evans with 15 strikeouts and 1 walk. He will pick up the win and go to 2-0 on the year. And speaking of Kason Evans, we will visit with him when we come back to Baton Rouge. Talk about what a night it was as LSU wins for the 3rd straight time. Stay with us, back in a moment. LSU wins back-to-back conference games in their 3rd game overall with a 7-1 finish here at the box in Baton Rouge. The story tonight, Kason Evans on the mound, was fantastic as you look at these strikeouts, Ben.
Yeah, I tell you what, he was spot on from the 1st inning, man. He had it all going. The fastball ticked up to 97. The curveball was elite. The changeup might have been even better, especially early. So you talk about having them all going. Career high innings pitched, 7 2/3. Of course, a career high strikeouts. 15 punch outs on the night. Only 1 walk, folks, and I'm telling you what, you won't see a better performance than that in college baseball tonight.
And bringing him on now, there he is, Kason Evans. Hey, Kason, I got this. Bring this up right away. This is the most strikeouts by an LSU pitcher in a conference game since Paul Skeen struck out 15 at Auburn in 2023. When you get mentioned with that name, it's got to make you feel pretty good about your performance tonight, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I feel great whenever whenever I'm mentioned with him, but I'm not going to compare myself to him. It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But how did it feel tonight? I mean, it looked great. Did it feel great?
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, coming out since the 1st inning, I mean, everything just felt fluid, good tempo, and that's what we're going for, is just keeping the tempo up, getting off the field fast, and making the other team panic.
Well, what was the difference tonight, Kason? I mean, last time out, you walked 5. It looked like the mechanics weren't quite there, but, man, you were on point from pitch 1 tonight. What was the difference in the 2 outings?
Yeah, like I said, tempo. That's all it was. I mean, tempo last week, if you go back and look at it, it was very slow. And then this week we sped it up and just wanted to get the game rolling. And I feel like that's when I'm at my best, is go fast, here it comes, and try and hit it. So,
hey, this curveball that you kind of busted out at the end of last year, it looks really sharp. Where is it in your rep? I mean, is it equal to all your pitches? I mean, do you feel that good with it?
I feel great with it now. I mean, we picked it up last year in the College World Series, the first time I threw it in game, which was kind of crazy. But I looked at Coach Yeski before the game, and I said, look, I'm throwing this today. They won't have no clue what's coming. So we started it there, and now it's just part of the repertoire. And, you know, we throw it 0-0, 1-0. We can throw it whenever, and it just feels great coming out of the hand.
I tell you what, and it looked like to me the changeup looked like the changeup that we saw a lot last year. Like you were able to start it towards the bottom of the zone and, of course, have it dive out of the bottom of the zone when you wanted to. The action on it was outstanding.
Yeah, you know, that's a pitch I've always had, and I love throwing it. I think it's my best pitch in my arsenal. So when that's on point, I know it's going to be a good game for me.
All right, Case, before we let you go, talk to me about big picture with this team. You've now won 3 in a row, back-to-back conference games. After a little maybe stubbing your toe is a way to put it here, how do you feel about this group now moving forward? How big a deal was this win to keep you guys going in the right direction?
Yeah, no, I think it was a big deal. But at the same time, we just got to keep going, you know, keep trucking along and keep the tempo up, keep the energy up, and I feel like that's what's going to take this team to the next level, and that's what's going to make us win games. So biggest thing is just energy in the dugout, being behind our pitchers and our hitters, and it's big go time from there.
Listen, it was awesome watching you pitch tonight. Don't get to see many of those, so great effort. Congratulations on the win. We'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Kason Evans. Ben, doesn't get much better than that.
That was impressive. I mean, against a top 10 team. And what was impressive to me is that LSU was averaging 6 free passes per game. Only 1 walk. 1 free pass tonight is all it was. So the pitching caught up with the offense tonight.
We'll see where this win propels LSU. It was a good one to get this series started right, but they got a really good Oklahoma team for 2 more here at the box. We'll see how that plays out this weekend. So for Ben McDonald, the rest of our exceptional ESPN crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Baton Rouge. LSU wins Game 1, 7-1 over Oklahoma.